Hello, Beth Tefel. I hope you are not only doing well, but you are all thriving. I am standing in my kitchen speaking to you in a rather low voice because, as you can see, it is 5:01 in the morning and I don't want to wake up my family. What am I doing up at 5:01? Well, my wife Malky does not allow me into the kitchen without her because she is worried that I will unkosherify her kitchen. And I want to prove to her and to all of you that she really has nothing to worry about. I am kind of hungry and I was hoping for a nice scrambled egg with cheese. So the first step is to find a dairy frying pan. That shouldn't be too hard. So over here, we have a clear M sign. M obviously stands for milk, or maybe meat. Okay, maybe it's not so simple. Let's go over here. Here we have a P. Now P is obviously pig. So even I know not to cook pig together with cheese. Or maybe P stands for Parav or Pesach. Or maybe it stands for please get out of my kitchen because you don't know what you're doing and you'll be sorry otherwise. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave now. In last week's Torah portion, Rabbi, the Torah states 5 words which serve as the basis for all of the laws of milk and meat. The Torah says, Lo sivashel gedi b'chalev imo. Don't cook a goat in its mother's milk. I'd like to go through some of these laws of milk and meat. This is going to be a very basic introduction, and unfortunately you will not be rabbis upon the completion of this video, although if you watch it 3 or 4 times, then perhaps. The first thing you should know is that that phrase that you should not cook a goat in its mother's milk appears 3 times in the Torah. And our tradition says that it's coming to teach us 3 distinct prohibitions when it comes to milk and meat. You are not allowed to eat them together. You are not allowed to cook them together, which could be a problem for students in culinary school. And you are not allowed to benefit from milk and meat that was cooked together. This includes not feeding it to your pet. It includes not selling it. And also you're not even allowed to give it to your neighbor for free because your neighbor will in the future return the favor. Additionally, when the Torah says a goat and its mother's milk, the rabbis say that that's not specific and really all meat is included and all milk. However, only kosher milk and kosher meat. So therefore, if you were to make bacon and cheese, there would be no problem with cooking it, and you are not allowed to eat bacon, but you would not violate the prohibition of milk and meat if you have bacon and cheese. Now, what about human milk? For those people who still nurse from their mothers, can you take that milk and cook it together? Meat. The answer is that's fine. The only problem is taking animal milk and animal meat and cooking them together. But the rabbis still discourage it because it looks like real milk and meat. At the end of the laws of milk and meat, we are taught that we are forbidden from making dairy bread or meat bread. Why is this? Because bread used to be eaten at every meal, and the rabbis were concerned that if you made bread that was dairy, you would eat it at a meat meal or vice versa. The exception to that is if the bread clearly looks different, and you'll remember that it is dairy or meat. So for instance, English muffins are dairy, but they look different than regular bread, so English muffins are permissible. I'd like to conclude with the following story. One can never assume that utensils are either dairy, meat, or parav without asking somebody who really knows. A local rabbi said when he was in rabbinical school, I'm assuming the food wasn't all that good, so one night he saw a friend making egg and cheese in a cup that's normally used for washing. His friend said, come on, what could be wrong with this? When would anybody ever use this cup for any food? The very next night, he saw a different friend trying to boil a hot dog in that very same washing cup, and his friend said to him, come on, when would this cup ever have been used for anything else? So never assume anything. Anyway, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about this topic. Again, it's a very comprehensive topic. And just remember, you never saw me in my kitchen at 5:01 this morning. Take care.